Oh, we're all looking to be happy, but what about the destruction and the despair that inevitably happen in your life? How do you go from mere temporary happiness to a stable joy? I didn't think those two were different things, but you're right. Gaynell and Connie back on the show with tips to finding that deeper joy in your life.
Yeah, I think happiness, if you were to think about it, you wouldn't say we don't want to all be happy. We all want to be happy, but happy, I always feel, is kind of that temporary fun feeling. Joy is a longer view, and it's a little bit deeper and more sustainable.
So happiness would come from what?
Well, I mean, I think oftentimes we have the feeling like for our sweet friend here that's going to about be waking up all night with a baby. I remember thinking, I'll be happy when my baby sleeps through the night, or I'll be happy when we have a better job, or I'll be happy when I finally get married, which I am married, but you know what I'm saying. And I think happiness is one somewhat more external and situationally based, and joy is more of an internal, more spiritually based experience. And I think we can't always experience it in every moment, but it's a long view of something in your life.
We talked during the break about happiness, and I love that you were talking about how kids, it's easier for them to experience true happiness than true joy.
Yeah.
Go a little into that.
Well, I think for me, when you have a divorce or a job loss or something in your life that's falling apart, happiness often feels like it's unattainable. And so when you're a kid, you don't have those life experiences. For example, this weekend, I had both my kids home. And I remember the years where it was harder, where things weren't as easy, where there wasn't money to go do something, or one of my kids was struggling. And this weekend there were these glimpses of moments where I just felt the joy that we weren't doing anything like Disneyland or a trip to Hawaii. We were just kind of together, and I caught glimpses of my kids together, and I thought that comes from joy. When you're a kid, you don't always have that experience. But as I was reflecting this morning, like, am I even feeling joyful to be talking today about joy and happiness? I thought, you know, as a kid, when did I feel joy? And I remember thinking that I could just enjoy the bubbles, or I was just excited because it was Christmas morning. But now Christmas morning feels really deep. It feels like it's been hard fought for.
So how do you cultivate joy every day?
Yes, so I think one of the first things is practice the mindfulness that kids are really good at. They do stay more present in the moment. And I tend to always have a to-do list running in my head. So even this weekend, I stopped for a minute and watched our dog. And I know, Nisha, you have a puppy that brings joy. Like, dogs are really good at reminding us of just, they don't care what the to-do list, they just want your attention at that moment. So practice looking at the sunrise, seeing a baby laughing. You know, I've become the older lady in the store that will stop and follow a new mom and, oh my gosh, your baby's so cute. And I remember as a mom thinking, you know, my baby kept me awake all night. This is not cute at all, right? And so stop for a moment and practice just some mindfulness. Breathe in whatever is happening right in front of you instead of going forward or back in your thinking.
Well, that's what you touch on in your next point, the chaos.
Yeah.
We can't find peace in our lives right now, but you're saying that's exactly what we need to be doing.
Right, and I think giving ourselves permission, I'm big on giving myself permission. Can you give yourself permission that you're a work in progress? And so maybe not every part of your life feels like you want to accept where it's at, but can you accept the fact that maybe your friend is having a great, you know, advancement at work, or they're running a marathon, or they just, you know, went on this amazing trip, and you're not in that experience. Can you just be in a place where I'm going to accept that this is where I'm at today? I'm a work in progress. It doesn't mean you're not wanting to improve in your life, but so much that robs us, the thief of joy is comparison. So we go online oftentimes and we're like, wait a minute, I was feeling pretty good and now I'm not. And I often have that happen when the thief that comes in is my comparison in my head.
I like acceptance.
Yeah.
Acceptance for where you are at and who you are.
It doesn't mean you're not going to progress, but today can we be okay with where we're at?
What about spiritual practices? How do those help?
So this isn't religious practices, this is spiritual, this is our spirit. And I think the previous segment about helping your baby have that energy flow in their life, are we having moments each day where we're just kind of still? And meditation, there's so many apps now, there's so many ways in which it doesn't have to be the scary thing where you're super zen for 30 minutes and you're not ever distracted. So pull up some app if you need help with that. I believe in the power of prayer, but prayer for a lot of people is a conversation. Other people, I was just in the airport and I saw a Muslim man, and he was praying very specifically as I'm running to get on an airplane, and I thought that brought me back to that practice of how it's something bigger than you, and that often helps me stay in a place of joy, because I go out of where I'm at right at that moment and I see something beyond that. And then my favorite is a gratitude list. I've been doing that for the last probably 15 years, and I end the night and I start the day with it.
Do you write it down or say it?
So I do two things. Right now I have a friend that I text what I'm grateful for that day at night, and in the morning I write down 5 things. So
I love that there seems to be the difference, as you said. Happiness can come quickly and you feel that emotion.
Right.
But you actually have to choose to be joyful. I have a girlfriend whose husband was battling cancer and he lost the battle, and she, in all of those moments, her motto was choose joy. Choose to find the joy in it. And you actually wrote a book about this.
It just came out this week, and it's the first time I've done the audio for my own book, which is a whole crazy experience. So this is my voice for the first time. Other books I haven't been the voice. And part of the giveaway, if you want to come find me on Instagram and follow me, I would love to send this to one of the Good Things Utah viewers that are trying to choose joy, because it is a choice. It's not always easy, especially if you're dealing with something like cancer, job loss, some of these chronic illness, big things in life. We choose into it, and that's not to say that if you're dealing with depression or anxiety that that's not more challenging to choose into it, but it's refocusing on. Even on the way here, I had a worry list going, and I chose to look at, oh my gosh, it's not snowing this morning.
The gratitude.
I get to go be with people that I love this morning on TV.
Gaynor Lynn's website's at the bottom of your screen. It's gaynorlynn.com. You can also go to our website, and we'll link you abc4.com/GTU. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We always love when you're here. We'll keep it right here.